Florida lawmakers actually have advanced a bill that will limit the number of felons who can vote. Now, here are the details. This bill would require all felons to pay back court fees and fines before they can register to vote. And so we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in total. Julie Ebenstein is with the ACLU, and she says what the barriers proposed in this bill do is nearly guarantee that people will miss election after election because they cannot afford to pay financial obligations, calling it an affront to Florida voters. This past November, you'll remember Floridians voted to restore voting rights to certain felons, and many have already been registering. Now, what this bill will do is it will kick people off the rolls, some who have actually already been voting in recent local elections. Now, Ebenstein went on to say, keeping voters who can't afford to pay their fees immediately, keeping them disenfranchised for additional years, decades, or for the rest of their life is not what was contemplated by voters who passed this amendment. She says the financial obligation element of the bill that advanced Tuesday affects two groups: low-income felons who can't afford to pay back fees, and those who committed property crimes and were sentenced to pay large sums of restitution and put on payment plans. Now, the measure also qualifies a slew of felonies with any kind of sexual component as a disqualifying sexual offense. That includes crimes like having an adult entertainment store too close to a school, as well as certain prostitution crimes. And finally, AOC jumped in on the combo, simply calling it a poll tax by any other name, with Public Citizen then jumping in and reminding us that Florida was the first state to adopt a poll tax. And they say this marks the GOP trying to become the first state to re-adopt one.
So we talk in history all the time about how far we've come in America.
Yeah.
Please stop complaining. You guys know what it was like in slavery times. You guys know what it was like in the civil rights era. Look how far we've come.
Right.
And we continue to see over and over again that all we've come in many elements is a new way to cover up and continue to do the same things we've always done. If you want to ask someone directly, any of these Republicans within this state legislature, what the reasoning is for this, for their implementation or their interpretation of what Amendment 4 was supposed to do, and you say, so is this a poll tax? They won't say it, but it's obviously what it is. So then I ask them next, so what's the reason for? What do you need to do to keep these folks from voting? Because we already know it's all connected. The judicial system and the way we put many folks in prison and giving them fines that are disenfranchised because of their race or because of their background, their economic background. So we don't want those people voting. Why not? Don't you want to appeal to people who've come out of prison and want to contribute to society? I thought this is in America. This is a place of opportunity, right?
Right.
So many times these folks come from communities that already get put down and given less opportunity. Then after they're thrown in jail for many times small types of crimes, they don't get a chance to then come out and get better jobs, contribute to society. So now they put with this extra fee. And keep in mind, this fee is not part of any kind of judgment from a judge. These are fees from court fees implemented by clerks and then added on to by creditors and debt collectors that now have percentages put on top of it of interest fees. This is absolutely planned to make sure no one else votes, or certain folks don't vote because they don't want to have to deal with these people's decisions and agendas.
Right, it's like financial gerrymandering.
Absolutely.
Basically, I think, people who commit felonies should pay their fines. That's part of your punishment. Mm-hmm. But should we be taking away someone's civil liberties because they can't pay a fine after already serving their time in prison? And I think also this kind of gives the idea that felons are just not paying their fines because they don't want to. They just don't want to. It kind of like ignores how hard it is to find a job when you're a convicted felon, a place to live, many other things like that. Reasons a lot of times these people can't pay these fines.
They know this. This doesn't fall on. They're not stupid. There's no way they go, I don't know how the system works. I'm only one of the legislators and I'm part of government. Right. They know how the system works and they know how to use it to their advantage.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.